Hi and welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to start to make one of these nav bars as shown up here. Okay, so first of all we're going to work in the body tag for this and we're going to call it a header. Okay, so we're going to put it in header tag. This kind of helps separate your page up. Okay, so within the header tag we're going to put a nav tag. Now the nav stands obviously for navigation, okay, so this is showing your actual nav bar, okay, whereas the header tag is kind of showing the whole header, okay. So in the nav bar we're going to do an unordered list, which is UL for unordered list, okay. Now, within our unordered list, we'll need list tags, okay, which are LI tags, okay. Again, closing all the tags up as we go. Now, we've got 4 tags there, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this 4 times, okay. Okay, so now within the list tag, all I'm going to do is I'm going to write home, about us, okay, page 1, and page 2. Now let's see what we've got. Okay, here we go. So we've got a simple list here with home, about us, page 1, page 2. Okay, now if we want them in a line, what we need to do is add some styles. Now styles can be the inline styles, okay, which would be ones you'd write here. So for example, we could put style equals display, because it's a display property, and what you want that property to do, we want to display it in line, okay. So there we go. Now that will display home. Actually, thinking about it, it'll take the tag away because it's already in line, because obviously it's a thingy. So to show you how that actually works, we'll paste that down there, okay, and press save, and then you'll see what I mean here. So that brings that about us next to it, and page 1 we'll do the same. Now rather than putting them all individually in line styles, we can put them up here in a style tag in the head, and all we do is write style within a tag, a closing tag, okay. Always make sure you close your tags, very important. Okay, and then we can put in exactly a list, okay, which is this here, okay, and then we put a curly brace, or 2 curly braces in fact, okay, and your code is put inside the curly braces, okay. So again, we want display, okay, and then in line, and then you need a colon here after display and a semicolon after inline. Okay, think of it like a sentence, okay, with correct punctuation. Without the correct punctuation, it won't work. Okay, now if we save that, and then you've got all your styles in line, okay, so we can delete that because we don't need that anymore. Okay, and that one. Okay, so now within the style tag, you can do all sorts. So you could put padding on there if you wanted. Now padding pads out the text within its list tag, so within here, for example. So if I put padding, okay, and I put, I don't know, 5%, okay, that will pad out everything across the page, okay, like that. Okay, so that's your padding. The other thing you can use is margins, which margins actually make a gap between each list tag. So you'd be placing extra space here and here and here and here, as opposed to placing it inside. Okay, so for example, if I did margin 5% on here, okay, it will look like it does the same thing, but to show you what it does is if I put a border, yeah, a border's fine actually, border around the edge of each tag. So we'll do 2 pixels solid black. Right, 2 pixels stands for the thickness, okay, of the border. See, the black is the color, okay, and solid is a type of border. So there's a few types of borders, we won't go into them here. Okay, like that, you can see. Now if I take the margin out, okay, you'll see what I mean by it. Okay, so they're all next to each other, the paddings with it, the paddings within the list tag itself, whereas the margin would be here. Okay, so that's the difference between the padding and the margin. Okay, now we're going to take the border out because we don't really want a border. Okay, now to make your buttons or your navigation bar responsive, you need to add anchor tags. Okay, so inside your list tag, you do an A for anchor. Now the anchor is a link tag, okay, and you'll need a hyperreference for the link tag. So let's have a look. So if first of all we could do a hyperreference to my website, okay, so it's http:// two forward slashes, and it's called The Coding Girls, okay, .com. Okay, then we close off that tag, okay, like that. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want that home within that anchor tag. So what we want to do is put the anchor tag there, and also you'll need to close off the speech marks, okay, each time. So there we go. Now we then have a link, so here we go. So on clicking on that link, that will take you to the website. There we go. Okay, now other types of links. Okay, so again we need to use an A tag, okay, hyperreference. This one we could have it on part of the page. So you'd put, say you had an index and an about us page, you put about us, so it was another HTML page, HTML, closing quotation marks, and then closing angle bracket, and then put your closing anchor tag. Okay, so now this one won't work because obviously we don't have an about us page, but this is what will happen if we press that. We'll say it's not found. Okay, so other types, you can put IDs, which we haven't discussed yet, on each section. So you can put an anchor tag and it will find a certain place on your page. Okay, so that is just a hashtag and the name of your section, name of the ID of the section. So let's put this section, okay. Okay, and then again, close the quotation marks, close the angle bracket, and then put closing anchor tag. Okay, now for that you're going to need, so what we're going to do is underneath our header, we're going to put section, okay, and then we're going to give it a div ID, okay, and this ID is going to be called this section, okay. We'll go back more into divs later. This is just to show you how this works, really. Okay, and then you could put hello world, like so. Close off your div. Okay, and then what we can do is make it bigger. So we're going to use the styles here and just make it really big. So we're going to do font size. Okay, so font is the actual text and the size of it is that self-explanatory. We're going to 150 pixels. Okay, and then in another div before that, we're going to have a div with no ID, just a normal div. Okay, and we're going to do exactly the same and put a style on it of 150 pixels. Copy. Okay, and then we'll just put goodbye world. Okay, then we're going to press save. Okay, and then we're going to press return. Okay, so you're going to get goodbye world, hello world. Now when you press page 1, you see the page moves up slightly. Okay, so that doesn't really show us what we're doing. So let's change that to 350 pixels so you can see what we're really doing. Okay, there we go. Now you go to page 1 and it will give you the hello world. Okay, so that's how the div tag works, how the ID tag works. Okay, and then finally for page 2, another handy thing is to do the hashtag. So the hashtag is good if you haven't got any pages, like we haven't. You can put a hashtag in and it will still show your pages as links, even though they won't link anywhere because they'll just link to the same page. But it's good, like when you're designing your site and you just change whatever's in the hashtag. Okay, so it really is a placeholder, I guess. Okay, so we'll rewind all that and we have page 2, and it doesn't do anything, but it's still, you still see a link. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to take this section out here. Okay, save it, and then that's what we've got. Okay, so in the next video I'll describe how to style the nav bar.